Welcome to Flow 360. I am your host, Diraj Adhikari. As always, we have a new guest, Mr. Subash Thapa. He's a well-known actor. Welcome to Flow 360.
Thank you, Dheeraj, and uh, all the audience or listener who are watching Flow 360, and I'm sure you'll subscribe this channel as well or podcast.
Yeah,
And I
thank you.
wish you all the best, Dheeraj,
Thank you.
and let's see how it goes.
Yes. Okay. As I get started here, I really want to thank you for your time. I know you're a busy man. Um, can you tell me about your childhood, your life, early life?
Oh, well, I haven't think about that for so long, and thank you so much for this question. And I'm not originally from here. I'm from
Mm-hmm.
Nepal.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up in a small town
Mm-hmm.
near Kathmandu called Bhaktapur and Pikhel, actually.
Okay.
It's a suburb of Bhaktapur city. And I'm from lower middle class family. So, as kids from 80s, I'm from 80s actually, like but I'm not gonna tell how old I am. But anyway, I'm from 80s. So, kids from 80s. So we used to play outside,
Mm-hmm.
outdoor
Mm-hmm.
games and, village life. It was like, I can remember a few things, but, when I think about that, it's for a long time. I haven't thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
But when I get chance to think about that, it's really beautiful. We used to play outside in nature, but
Mm-hmm.
these days, kids are play with their, this, gadgets and all that
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we should start doing that, exploring nature.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I have to do that as well because, uh, we are also like, somewhat on this, virtual stuff. So yes, it was very, very, you know, uh, close to nature,
Mm-hmm.
and it was fun.
Yeah, being outside was more
Yeah,
like a
yeah, yeah,
norm
more like,
back then
yeah,
than now,
exactly
you know?
right. Yeah, you feel lively,
Yes.
and yeah, it was, and the fresh water.
Mm-hmm.
So my grandfather used to take me to the temple Pashupatinath, and we could see that, Bagmati River. It
Mm-hmm.
used to. if you throw coin on that river,
Mm-hmm.
you can see that, it's sinking down on that,
On the bottom.
sand. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
you can see. And a lot of kids used to dive and, get that coin, or, with that, magnet
yeah. Yes.
thing,
Yes.
they pull it. But yeah, the nature was really, really, of, greenery
Mm-hmm.
and clean water, clean air. And they used to run that, trolley bus, if you know the electric bus, at that time. Now, it's not there, but
Yeah.
yeah.
How was so in terms of the changes within Kathmandu? Um, I'm sure you saw a lot of changes happening within your own lifetime.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, how would you describe being a kid back then and
Hmm.
as an adult? What are some of the, I guess, positive and negative things that you have seen within the city?
Yeah, it's part of life. There's positive and negative as well.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of changes. There were no houses. You could see paddy fields.
Mm-hmm.
When you're traveling from Bhaktapur to Kathmandu and, even Patan, there were like, greenery.
Mm-hmm.
You could see, this farmer growing vegetables and all.
Yeah.
The rivers were clean. We used to swim on that rivers, but you can think about swimming on those rivers. Hanumanti River
Yeah.
and then, Bagmati River, and a lot of changes. There's a lot of buildings. It's look like now this concrete jungle.
Okay.
It Bhaktapur and Kathmandu Valley itself is like a museum.
Mm-hmm.
And it has that, architectural structures,
Yeah.
temples and, palaces
Mm-hmm.
from, Mullah's period.
Yeah.
uh, so still they have preserved that, but, earthquake
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
some damage.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it's there. But these, modern architectures, and but that's, the innovation and all.
Yeah.
And old is like, global village.
Yes.
So yeah, there's like a lot of positive changes as well. Like, to have that, a computer
Mm-hmm.
is like, the virus, used to like, put our, slippers outside and wash
Mm-hmm.
our hands and go inside,
Mm-hmm.
to touch computer at
Mm-hmm.
that time. Right now, every kid has like 5G on their cell
Yeah.
phone and all. So technology wise, also it's very advanced, and kids are very smart. I mean, we were smart as well in a different way, but now kids has that exposure
Mm-hmm.
to the world,
Yeah.
and it's very advanced. Yeah, that's the positive change. And I mean, the political instability and all
Mm-hmm.
that thing, I mean, I don't want to go there. So
Yeah. Yeah.
there's a lot of things, but still, we don't have to be like pessimistic.
Yes.
There's like young and vibrant leaders in Nepal. They're trying their best, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure it will be very very like positive impact on political scenario, and on like development as
Mm-hmm.
well. They will bring some positive changes for sure.
Yeah, I think recently with the growth of IT sectors within the country, they more likely the youth are going to take advantage of that. So
Yeah, I
I
mean,
can I can see there will be some growth happening within the next 10 to 20 years.
yeah, I'm hoping so. I mean, people are otherwise like all youth, they want to go out from
Mm-hmm.
country, or they
Mm-hmm.
want to migrate,
Yeah.
but they don't want to migrate because they don't love their country.
Yeah.
That's their they don't have any choices
Yeah.
being there, due to political instability, and there
Mm-hmm.
is people thinks there's nothing to do. Even some try to go back and they do some work, but due to this political, this favorism,
Mm-hmm.
or like the corruption, to be very frank with you, it doesn't let uh, the individual who doesn't have political connection or some kind of
Mm-hmm.
nexus with business people around there, they are bypass, or they are ignored, or
Mm-hmm.
they don't get that opportunity which political class people can get.
Yeah.
So we have to correct that whatever, like mechanism over there, the
Mm-hmm.
syndicate. So if you can do that, I mean, youth, they don't want to uh, go somewhere out of our country, because it's beautiful. Nepal
Mm-hmm.
is really
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. I mean, nature wise, and and people,
Mm-hmm. Very
and
friendly
yeah,
people.
very friendly
Yeah.
people, and I mean, they're peace loving, simple people.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, in 10 to 12 years, I'm sure we'll have some kind of dominance,
Mm-hmm.
as like South India in
Mm-hmm.
IT field, and Nepal gonna be next hub, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. As for your family structure,
Hmm.
how many siblings did you have? How was your family life as a kid?
Yeah, now we have nucleus family, but back then, our my my uncle, my father, my grandmother, we are
Mm-hmm.
like we used to live in a this big family.
Mm-hmm.
So
A
it's
huge joint
it's
family.
joint
Yeah.
family. And then gradually, as we grew up, then I mean, everybody, then people migrate from,
Mm-hmm.
just like right now it's migrating from one country to another country. At that time, migrating from small villages or suburbs to big cities for opportunities and
Yeah.
all. So that's how it's become. Gradually it started, small, like nucleus family, so now I'm here with my family, one family, my
Yeah.
wife, my two kids, and one dog.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother is taking care of my parent,
Okay.
and my uncle still live with his family in village. So yeah,
Okay.
it's all.
Okay.
And now, let's be positive. We are growing and we're
Mm-hmm.
expanding, which is a
Yeah.
good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. As for your goal or dreams of you when you were a kid, what did you aspire to be? What did you want it to be when you grew up?
Oh,
As a little kid, we.
all sort of things. I mean, I was like ship without radar kind of thing. I didn't have dreams like that.
Mm-hmm.
Very simple. I mean, survival maybe. I that's why I became actor, I guess. I
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
to explore. I wanted to explore, but my father wanted me to be engineer.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother wanted to me a doctor or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I studied science, and I thought that that's not my thing. I mean,
Yeah.
because I love literature, and I love to be outside. I love to be with people. So I couldn't do good in studies when I was doing my plus two.
Mm-hmm.
So I told my mom, please tell
Yeah.
father, I don't want to do this, engineering or whatever. So I want to be an actor.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
How were you as a student, though? Were you pretty good at?
no, till school I was good. I
Yeah.
was good. I mean, like I I was good actually. I was like second in my class,
Mm-hmm.
or sometime third. So I was like top within top three
Yeah.
till school,
Okay.
and then when I went to college, then I became backbencher. So
But let's get into your careers in terms of you deciding. Okay, I want to get into field of acting.
Mhm.
What led you to that point? What made you decide that?
So after dropping out plus two and joining humanities
Mm-hmm.
faculty in Ratnaraje Lakshmi campus, RR what we call,
Mm-hmm.
then I felt kind of humiliation, from science, that mean, studying science
Mm-hmm.
or like, engineering.
Yeah.
Uh, they, used to consider like they were a bright student.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in art and all that, mean, I mean, like, okay, you are studying. It's not that, I mean, uh, trying to be a teacher or something. That's
Yeah.
not like reputed or like an ideal job
Mm-hmm.
for parent.
Yeah.
And so I kind of feel that my parents are not that much happy with my decision.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I took like I like my major was major English or economics and then political science.
Okay.
So I just try to prove, okay, I'm still good. But you know kind of you feel like humiliated,
Yeah.
or you feel like, oh yeah, I shouldn't have done that, but I
Mm-hmm.
can do, I love to do acting, but my parents are not happy. So my acting is like, people will recognize you or people will acknowledge your presence.
Mm-hmm.
So acting, that's why I wanted to be actor, so that the insignificance
Mm-hmm.
which I felt at that time, it will cover that void, or
Yeah. Yeah.
so that's a
You wanted to get that recognition and also
yes.
kind of follow the fame.
Yeah,
That's what you saw
yeah,
within that
but
field,
that's
huh?
like, that at that time, like, this identity versus confusion. I
Mm-hmm.
want my identity, but at the same time, I don't know what I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So acting uh could fulfill that void within me. That's how we started. I want to be an actor or superstar, something like that. I want
Mm-hmm.
to do film. Then I joined that theater training course in
Mm-hmm.
Najgar.
Mm-hmm.
And still, I used to dress like with that, the dingo boots. That's what we call,
Mm-hmm.
we call, right? And so try to look like, with like, true jeans pants
Mm-hmm.
and all. So after like 3 months, it's totally changed. My teacher was Sunil Pokhrel and Birendra Hamal,
Mm-hmm.
Anup Baral. Being with them,
Mm-hmm.
so they taught me acting is not about you.
Mm-hmm.
You are insignificant. I mean, like, they make me believe, or I mean, I got that sense at that time. You are very, you're a tiny particle of that universe. Your fame, people know you. It doesn't make any differences.
Mm-hmm.
You were not there. The world was running, and one day you will be gone. The world will
Yeah.
still be running.
Yeah.
So you're nobody. What
Mm-hmm.
you can do, like, you can make a big changes or make big differences.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You doesn't, it doesn't matter,
Yeah.
but it does matter. A small world, you can have a small impact,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody start thinking you can do some positive change, then it will help to transfer society.
Yeah.
And that's, that line really, encouraged me. It still inspire me. I still believe, as an individual, you're nobody, but at the same time, you can have a great like significance of your life,
Yeah.
and you can make your life meaningful.
Yeah. You can have
you know
impacts in your
impact
family,
in your
your
family,
life,
in
and others.
society, yes.
Yeah.
At least, I mean, around you,
Mm-hmm.
whatever surrounding you are living. So so my whole perspective looking at art changed at that time. So I became like, I mean, carefree,
Mm-hmm.
like a saint, not like a saint in the sense, I mean, I was very much, enlightened, but I was like, I had that hunger
Mm-hmm.
to understand what is life and what is this theater. So I try to deep, dive
Yeah.
on that, this acting thing. And I'm still learning. I'm not perfect, so I'm still learning. Yeah.
Okay. In terms of your first acting gig,
Mhm.
who gave a shot to you? Who took a shot at you? Basically, they give you a project to work on, or any theater or films or anything. Do you let's give a shout out to whoever took a shot at you.
Yeah. So first we had three plays. We are directing the Voko Ghar, that Nepali play written by Bijay Malla.
Mm-hmm.
So three directors directed that play during our acting class,
Okay.
and I played the boy. I totally forgot right now that I know the play is written by Bijay Malla, and that's a Voko Ghar, but I don't know about the character. It's
Mm-hmm.
like four characters. So my friend directed that. I think Asis directed that, and he's a close friend of mine. So that's our acting project in our theater
Mm-hmm.
training class. And then after that big break, then I mean, like, after my training, Sunil Pokhrel, Arohan Gurukul started Gurukul School of Theater.
Okay.
So we are the first batch of that class.
They're still running that, right?
I think there is one in Biratnagar,
Okay.
but Kathmandu one they have started, but a couple of years back
Okay.
they closed from that Ratapul venue.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, that's the Gurukul has a very very that great impact
Mm-hmm.
uh, in Nepali theater,
Yeah.
because they were like pioneer after the
Mm-hmm.
Sarvanam
Mm-hmm.
and other theater group. But Gurukul, when they started, it was a big thing. Like everybody wants to be on that first batch of that Gurukul
Mm-hmm.
that school program. And I was one of 9 students.
Mm-hmm.
I was very lucky enough. I didn't have that much extensive background on theater, but still they took me because they saw that hunger within me. I want to learn. I want to excel that
Yeah.
craftsmanship.
You
So
you weren't the expert at it, but you were willing to learn.
yeah,
Yeah.
willing to learn. Exactly. I didn't know that much about theater, film and all.
Mm-hmm.
I used to watch, but like we used to watch action film or Bruce Lee or
Mm-hmm.
Van Damme or like action stars from Bollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Then I start liking joining theater, Nasiruddin Shah or Irfan Khan
Mm-hmm.
or
Yeah.
Bijay Raj.
Yeah.
Their performance were like, wow, that's what I want to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I never thought that I can be like superstar like Salman Khan or like Bollywood
Yeah.
Rajesh Hamal.
Yeah.
They were like larger than life person,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I was a like little bit darker skin, 5'8", the
Yeah. Yeah.
tiny boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I stood in front of mirror, I never saw myself as a like
Who did
leading
you
man.
who did you idolize though? Who did you thought you could potentially be?
Robert De Niro or Dustin Hoffman.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, like I want to act like them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, on a Marlon Brando or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I had great influence uh, watching their films. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I want to be like that. I didn't have any, but when it's that's paradox of life. I want
Yeah.
to be like on a movie
Mm-hmm.
like Robert De Niro or Al Pacino or like Brandon,
Yeah.
or Dustin Hoffman, or Morgan Freeman.
Mm-hmm.
But I ending up doing like cheesy movie like Bollywood, a copy movie. The
Yeah.
movie which I did. Okay, the first play was Ogniko Katha, The
Okay.
Fire in Monastery, directed by Sunil Pokhrel. That was my major play,
Mm-hmm.
which gave me a very, very, good exposure.
Okay.
We travel, I can say, around the world, Europe, like we perform in Aalborg Theater, and then, Moscow,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and India,
So
Behrampur, we
you
perform
guys
there.
you guys had access to a lot more in terms of like a acting gig where just theaters after certain place. So that was the one that gave you the
Yeah,
big
because that
shot.
was a Gurukul. When Gurukul started, then we have like this exchange program or
Mm-hmm.
partnership with Oslo Theater or
Okay.
Aalborg Theater, or like Nepali residing in Moscow. They
Mm-hmm.
organize also, or in India they used to be a theater festival. So that really gave me the exposure to theater world. Acting from different part of world.
Okay.
And so we are lucky enough to see plays from different countries, different style.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my first gig, which give, and I played the lead role. I
Okay.
was new, but still I got that Vikshu Gyan.
Mm-hmm.
So I still think I'm that character now, because he explore, he
Mm-hmm.
goes different places and try to find out the meaning of life,
Mm-hmm.
or so what is that God or what is like
Mm-hmm.
this, all this, enlightenment.
Yeah.
Uh, then he went back or goes back to Gumba
Mm-hmm.
in a monastery. And after all this, like I came, you know, after doing theater, then I did film.
Mm-hmm.
Then I came to America, work, here and
Yeah.
there, and then I'm again going back to theater or movies.
Yeah.
It's like a whole circle.
Yeah, and I think as you mentioned, you did different kind of roles within theater or films. I feel like as a actor, you have your personal life and you have this, work that you are working on projects. But I wonder if you ever thought about, okay, I played this role. This kind of relates to my life too. Have you ever had that situation where
Yeah, I
whatever
mean,
you
no,
worked on was
yeah,
similar to?
most of the time, I mean, sometimes there is like, no, fine line between character and your life itself.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Sometimes it's just like merge, or like sometimes it's me. It's like my character is effect, I mean, like, the effect which the character has, it's impacting my life, or
mm-hmm,
my life is creating that character. There is no fine line. And there is always that, so we are, the way we train, I mean, we are trained in different, acting style.
mm-hmm,
So this is some method acting, or like, this our Eastern approach, like
mm-hmm,
Bharatanatyam or something. So we try to, I mean, for especially me, I believe in spontaneity, or this, no acting please. I like that, being spontaneous.
mm-hmm,
That kind of approach motivate me, or so that's what excite me. I don't go pre-plan, how I'm gonna act.
mm-hmm,
I mean, my acting gonna be affected by surrounding my co-actor, on audience.
mm-hmm,
uh, so different factors, so I'm prepared in a way for role, but at the same time, I hear the lines for first time. I'm not like, preparing, I'm gonna do mannerism, okay, I'll put my hand here or something like that. I don't do that. At beginning, you follow somebody
mm-hmm,
you inspired by, but right now I try my best to be unknown. I don't know anything, I'm learning. I'm
mm-hmm.
like, empty slate. So after, like, so I'm sorry, I'm all, I'm talking about here and there. So what was the
Yeah, yeah.
question? I completely,
Any project or any films that
oh
made you
yeah, yeah, yeah,
realize?
yeah. Okay, yeah. And then just like I told you, about that Vichugan character, I still think, that's element of that character is within me. And then I did, like, I did all sort of characters, negative characters, or like comic characters.
Mm-hmm,
On one film I did that, homosexual journalist. I mean,
mm-hmm,
he has inclined toward,
mm-hmm,
uh, that kind of thing. I shouldn't say that kind of thing, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to disrespect,
mm-hmm,
or like, I have a great respect for everybody. So I did all sort of role. It doesn't mean I have inclination toward,
yeah,
that I'm a straight man.
but
But I
like,
respect, I mean,
yeah,
whatever inclination people have.
mm-hmm,
And it has nothing to do with their intellectuality, or their, whatever they are doing.
mm-hmm,
The
mm-hmm,
profession and then personal life, that's two different things. And somebody are vocal about that, somebody doesn't want to talk about that. That's their
yeah,
preference.
yeah,
So yes, I mean, most of the time I find, the elements of me on character,
mm-hmm,
and then character also. Then I feel like, I'm now a little bit clear about certain aspect,
mm-hmm,
because I'm doing that character. So acting is about being on somebody else's shoes
okay,
as well.
okay,
So yeah, it's like,
yeah,
it's
it
vice
goes back and
versa,
forth, I guess,
back
yeah,
and
yeah,
back and forth. Yeah.
okay. Um, as you left the film industry and
Hmm.
moved to the US, what was something that you really missed?
To be very frank with you, now these days I miss film sets,
Mm-hmm,
and theater, that lights, that effect. But at that time, I was a little bit irritated with the system, the way, because I produced that movie, Birkela Chinchas. That was from my own production,
mm-hmm,
and I understood that business part of movie industry.
mm-hmm,
that chaos, the exhibitor, distributor, publicity. It's it's not that much professional.
Mm-hmm.
The exhibitor, we have to, like, producer is like, very very that how to say that, they were in a very tough position.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have any choices. If there is one strike, then there's, I mean, within 1 week, if your movie doesn't
Do well.
do well, then you're finished,
Yeah,
done.
they got to
And
take a
there's like,
risk.
10 films or 5 films
Yeah.
on week. They're making like, hundreds of films,
Mm-hmm.
like, 105 or 6. So there is like how many weeks?
Mm-hmm.
52 weeks.
Yeah.
And they're like, 110 or 120, 150 films. So only 5 or 6 film do good,
Mm-hmm.
well, and on that also just 3 film can recover their investment.
It's a risk. It's a business risk that you got to
Yes,
take.
but at the same time, there was no box office. Right now, there is box office. That's what they, I don't know it's true or not. But anyway, so I was irritated. I was frustrated. I mean, like this, okay, I'm fulfilling my dream, but what about my kids?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for that, okay, I'm gonna migrate. So I was angry. So for some time, I was really angry,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't miss anything. I mean, I was happy here because I
Yeah.
was making nice money.
Yeah.
I made that much money, which I didn't make doing like 16 films
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
within that 10, uh, how many? Yeah, almost like, 7 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
I made within 3 years.
Okay.
So it's not. I mean, like, I'm not trying to say I made more money
Mm-hmm.
in term of like I'm happy making
You're more
money.
peaceful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't have any insecurities,
Yeah.
about that, or like, financial sustainability.
Mm-hmm.
And it gave me that. Now I can go back and act, and I can do, films, a theater.
Mm-hmm. I feel like being financially stable, it just gives you a little more options. You can take a little better risk. Back then maybe you took a risk at making that movie, but because of how the
Yeah,
results were, you were
exactly.
frustrated.
We're talking, that behind the scene. I mean, like,
Mm-hmm.
before, off the record.
Mm-hmm.
So what did I tell you? I mean, even my daughters, they tell, oh, your film's name is very strange or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's very, like, not regular, uh, that, they find it strange. So I have to do all those films.
Yeah.
I'm not telling I have that luxury or privilege to choose nice script.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to do my best being on that given circumstances or that given script. So that's why, I used to get a lot of work. Before I come here, I had a lot of films. They still offer me now and then, but I mean, like, now I'm a little bit calculative.
Yeah.
I mean, it's worth it doing that film, or wait some time and do film you like to do.
Yeah.
I'm not in rush these days. So
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, that, financial sustainability or stability
Mm-hmm.
give you that privilege or luxury, because I'm not in that rat race, or that, race being superstar, or, I don't need that recognition. Now I already got that. I find peace with myself. I love to do what give me satisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have that now, that tendency which I used to have. I have to be first, or I have to be good. It's all relative. So I'm like, okay, wherever I am. And some tell me, oh, you could be successful if you were there. I mean, there are a lot of, like, we grew up doing theater, like, Magic If.
Yeah.
So sometimes I go to that Magic If thing, but I'm happy with my life, very peaceful, and,
Yeah.
content.
It's at least you're happy with what you have now, and
Yeah, I mean,
you're look. I mean, you're still associated with theaters and art, so even when you wanted to, if you want to make another movie or something, you
yeah,
feel a little more stable now.
exactly. And the other thing is, like, I used to be happy if I see my name on some magazines or
Mhm,
some newspaper or something like that. So I was seeking for validation.
mhm,
Right now, I don't need anybody validation. I'm happy.
mhm,
Small, I do music video or theater or films, whatever, short films. I do it for myself.
mhm.
So then I'm content. I don't have to make anybody happy, or I
Yeah.
don't have to prove anybody I can act or I can do things much better than
Mhm.
anybody. I don't
Mhm.
have competition with anybody. I have
Yeah.
competition with my prior work and with myself
Mhm.
to better understand.
Yeah.
So hold that, the way I used to look at theater and entertainment industry before and now, it's slightly different. I know exactly what I want to do,
Yeah.
and then I know what I don't want to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And in terms of your job here, as you got here in the U.S., now you're doing a really good job as a realtor. We seen you travel from one state to another. How would you describe the field of realtor?
Realtor, it's you are independent contractor, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's like, and it's your own business,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to deal with people, and that's a very, very huge commitment if
Mm-hmm.
somebody's buying house. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to be very careful when you're helping your client. So that's a great responsibility on you. uh, so that's one aspect. The other aspect is like, it's very good, it's a lucrative business,
Mm-hmm.
and there is a real estate mean, a realtor, or real estate professional. It doesn't mean you have to work on commission basis. You can be investor yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
real estate, I mean, the earth, it's limited, right?
Mm-hmm.
Land, or the real estate
Properties and
itself,
lands, yeah.
properties, it's very limited. So everybody should own piece of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's not my saying. I'm just trying to, like, somebody told me that, which I agree with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, and it appreciate by time, and it can be one of the professions,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to be your own boss.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. I'm happy. And you have to be very much updated with rule and regulation,
Yeah.
when uh, like, some big project coming on some areas, you have to be up to date,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to be very, very vigilant about what's going around.
Mm-hmm.
And when you are helping your client, you should understand their, like, what's their budget,
Mm-hmm.
and what about their family situation, like, kids are going to school,
Mm-hmm.
or like not going to school, or a grown up, I mean, kids
Yeah.
in high school or middle school. And
Mm-hmm.
according to that, I mean, you have to be very, I mean, very precise,
Mm-hmm.
and know their situation, so you can help them better.
Okay. And what would you say to some youth who might be interested in getting into the field of
Oh
realtor?
yes, they should. I mean, everybody should come. There's like, this is like, great field
Mm-hmm.
to be in. You know, it's like, helping people
Mm-hmm.
and getting paid,
Yeah.
and
And
very
I know it's
lucrative.
in the last 5 to 10 years, it's
Hmm.
been going high. The business is booming and it's
Yeah,
growing.
but
So.
I mean, don't think about money only, that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Think about, you're helping people, to get their dream home, helping people to find best investment property for their
Mm-hmm.
retirement,
Mm-hmm.
so you can help people. But if you think about monetary value only, and you're gonna be in this industry to make money,
Mm-hmm.
then you'll be not that much happy, or dissatisfied with your job. But if you really love helping people, if you really love you know be in real estate industry, you are most welcome, and you should try.
Mm-hmm.
But there are, like, there are at the same time, the realtor in first year, they might sell two houses only.
Mm-hmm.
I was lucky enough, I sold like 12 houses, because I have a very good PR. People trusted me. And I sold house in Nepali community only. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't able to crack so far the other communities, which I'm trying my best to do
Mm-hmm.
that. So if you're a people person, you love to help people, and
I'm sure you need good communication skills.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then good communication skill. It doesn't mean you can tell good story.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It means you should understand what their needs.
Yeah.
so you should able to understand their needs or what they're looking for. And you should be charming. Charming, it doesn't mean, I mean, you should look like actress and
Mm-hmm.
model.
Mm-hmm.
Charming with your conversation or with your wit, or you're very helpful, compassionate people.
Yeah.
You should easily relate with people. You should be a people person to be
Okay.
in real estate. And everybody most welcome. You can try.
Okay. And in terms of certain qualifications or requirements, what does it require?
uh 21 years old
Okay.
plus.
Okay.
18 years, I'm a little bit confused, maybe 18 years.
Okay.
I don't know, you have to google it, it's very simple. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
And then so yeah, that's all. You should have clear your background,
Mm-hmm.
because you're dealing with people's finance. So
Yeah. Yeah. And are there
that's must.
license that they need to have or?
Exactly, there needs to have like 180 hours course or
Okay.
something.
Okay.
And then yeah, you have to get like pre-education
Mm-hmm.
and get license. And you have to be with sponsoring brokerage.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, you have to register your license,
Mm-hmm.
whichever you get to trek,
Mm-hmm.
Texas Real Estate Commission. And from there, once they issue your license, before that you have to be sponsored by some brokerage.
Okay.
And there are a lot of brokerage, and if you need help choosing brokerage, I can help you, according to your working style and how
Mm-hmm.
you want to expand your business. So you have to choose brokerage like that. And then brokerage are not interviewing you, you are interviewing the brokerage.
Okay.
So you have to at least go, I suggest go with 3 4 brokerages. And try to find out how their this commission plan
Mm-hmm.
work,
Mm-hmm.
the split and all, what is most educational,
Okay.
materials they have online, how they operate, everything. Because you have to be very much up to date with the changes
Mm-hmm.
on the rule and
Yeah.
regulation. And good realtor, senior, who are pro, they can guide you. You can be in a
Okay.
team, you can work on yourself. So
Do you
yeah.
think it's better to just be yourself or work as a team? What do you think would be better?
No, as I mean, it's all depend, it's all relative. If
Okay.
you feel you can grow much in a team, you should
Mm-hmm.
join a team. But somebody, they don't like to interact, they are like they want to study themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and they feel good with themselves, so they can go like or solo,
Okay.
as but you should have a mentor for 3 transaction, which brokers offer.
Mm-hmm.
And after that you will have idea how you want to go.
Okay.
So you should have a clear vision, in 5 years where you will be. You should have a plan. You can just like come and then, okay, let me try.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you're just trying out, better not do that, it's very tough. But if you're really committed and you can do it,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. It's all in your hands, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, so but before you do that, don't waste your time. I don't want anybody to waste their even one day.
Mm-hmm.
Be clear, okay, that's what you want to do, that's what you are good at. And then only
Yeah.
uh, because it's a career decision.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can
Mm-hmm.
just hop on like every
Yeah.
6 months, okay, it's not for me, go that. Think.
Yeah.
And then you should have a plan, like, okay, if I go like this, or I mean it's really good for me,
Mm-hmm.
I can do it. I mean, then like you can make yourself better.
Yeah.
But you should have that passion and hunger, then only. Otherwise, if you can make money, okay, let's try it. You're not
Mm-hmm.
gonna make
Mm-hmm.
money. Because if it's 6 months, if you don't make money, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, right. So you might have to start as a part-timer,
Mm-hmm.
let's say, as a
Just to
part-timer,
understand and see
just
the
to
field. Yeah.
understand. And then, I mean, okay, now I can survive. Then you can start as a
Mm-hmm.
full-timer.
Okay. Any life advice or tips for our youth who are watching us?
Yeah, go with the flow, don't think too much. So sometime what happened, you think it's like this world is miserable, so
Mm-hmm.
it's just within your head, it's not outside.
Mm-hmm.
The same tree, you if you are sad, you can say it's lonely.
Mm-hmm.
But same tree, if you are feeling good and you're strong, you have positive vibes, oh look, that tree is standing
Mm-hmm.
by itself,
Mm-hmm.
he is not caring about anything,
Mm-hmm.
look. So it's all perspective, but be happy. and do whatever makes you happy, and don't run after money. Money will come after you.
Okay.
So don't think about, like, I was watching one interview or something, I don't know where. So it is where, like, about job satisfaction. They were like, whose job is cool.
Mm-hmm.
And on 90s, like, people say who make more money. And now, still now, who make more money.
Mm-hmm.
And then people think they are successful. But
Yeah.
money doesn't define, you're successful or you're happy.
Yeah.
The inner peace and then inner happiness is different than money.
Mm-hmm.
But you need money because you are living in capitalist world. So
Yeah.
don't be proud of yourself if you are poor,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So try to be
Yeah.
rich.
Yeah.
If you are poor, that's not your fault. If you born poor, that's not your fault. If you die poor, that's your fault.
Yeah.
Who said that? I don't know, but I like the
Yeah.
line.
Yeah. It's a
So
famous
guys,
line.
yeah, famous line, right? So guys, be happy, be cheerful, and follow your heart.
Yeah. Absolutely. Follow your
Yeah,
passion and
exactly.
yeah, be patient, right?
Yeah, be patient. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nothing overnight, and you don't get anything for free. Trust me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everything has its price, even your freedom.
Mm, yeah. Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
so be careful with your life, and life is short. So
Mm-hmm.
happy.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here with
Thank you
us,
so
and
much. Thank you,
thank you.
Diraz, and thank you so much, all of audiences who are watching this, and please follow and subscribe
Yeah.
Flow
360.
360.
Yeah. Thank you.